Hi there, Taurus. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for June. Over the last couple of years, there has been that non-specific, hard to pinpoint restlessness that has affected you at times. And the good news is that from the 3rd of this month, it is going to start to dissipate. And the more action-orientated side of your nature can actually see you achieve a great deal over the first few days of this month, especially if you've got some clear goals in your mind around work, health or money. But the first 10 days of this month is also dominated by an angle between Mars and Pluto, which could still see you having a little bit of conflict between doing what you know is the right thing to do and therefore fulfilling your obligations, and another part of you that wants to break free and do your own thing. And there may be something that you have to balance up about this, or somebody else may come along and impose upon your sense of freedom, and it could be linked, unfortunately, to your work. Now, more romantically, Venus, your ruler, is going to be awesomely important this month. And through to day 22, it's going to be in your sign. And the chances are that more than one person can be interested in you, particularly if you're solo already. And throughout week 1, well, Venus is forging a great link with Neptune. Neptune is a very dreamy influence, and at times it can be a mischief maker, and it will be later this month when it clashes with Venus in the last few days. But here, there is an opportunity to connect with someone in a way that really makes you feel very, very happy indeed. But whether it's for real or not, well, perhaps you can find out in week 2, because then Neptune starts to go backwards, as does Mercury, the planet of communication, which is in your sector of everyday communications. And as Venus forges a deep alliance with Pluto, you could find out whether someone is just a little bit of a love heartbreaker rather than really a love maker. So just proceed with a little bit of caution, however sweet it does seem in the early parts of this month. Having said that, Venus then goes on into an opposition with Saturn at the back end of week 2 and through to the middle of the month. And in an existing relationship, if there are any chinks between you, they may become a yawning chasm, particularly around issues concerning sex or money. So this is going to be important to work at these things, try to keep the dialogue going. And with Mercury twisting backwards from the 7th and Neptune causing a little bit of mischief and mystery from the 9th, that might necessarily be that easy. The 13th sees a full moon, and this full moon, once more, is emphasising the issue for you in terms of shared resources and finances. I think it's going to be important to listen and tune in to what the other person is saying. And I think communications generally, as Mercury twists backwards into your second solar house in the middle of this month, suggests that if someone isn't paying you the money they owe, or isn't taking to heart your talents and respecting what you bring to situations, that could be something that you're stirred up about. Now, it is also the case that the Sun moves on the 21st into a much better area for communication. And of course, we can't control Mercury retrograde as a whole. It always affects transport, distribution, travel, holidays, ports, destinations and stuff like this. But what we can do is concentrate really carefully on what we're writing and saying to people to make sure that we're as clear as possible. So do try to do this. Venus is actually going to be moving out of your sign on the 23rd, and the great news about that is that it can actually trigger an improvement in your financial circumstances. So that is something to look forward to towards the end of this month. But someone influential could offer you some kind of magical deal as June comes to a close, especially around the new moon on the 28th. Just be cautious about this, and the reason for this is Neptune again is a bit of a mischief maker, and you need to have it in writing and be very clear about where you stand, the terms of reference, before you get too excited. And ironically, the Sun's forging a great link with Neptune as the month comes to a close, and so you mustn't get caught up in being too self-sacrificing and don't stay hard-headed. So retain that earthy way that you check things out for their veracity and for how they're going to be a benefit to you. Because remember, at the heart of every Tauran is the need to see tangible proof of what things mean. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.